What is happening, Blue Ridge Mountain Life fans? I will give you one guess where we are this weekend, and you can tell just by looking behind me. We are in Mount Airy, North Carolina, aka Mayberry. For the weekend, we'll show you guys all the fun things to do and see here in Mayberry. Come along with us. After arriving in downtown Mount Airy, our first stop was at Snappy Lunch. Snappy Lunch has been serving up delicious food since 1923 and is the oldest restaurant in Mount Airy. For you Andy Griffith fan, you may remember Andy mentioning the restaurant in the show during a visit to Mount Airy with Barney.
After the show, we can go down to Snappy Lunch and get something to eat and some coffee.
Snappy Lunch is a must-visit in Mount Airy, but they are busy, and there is often a line out the door, as we experienced. Snappy Lunch is famous for their pork chop sandwich. We just had to try it for ourselves. A perfectly breaded and fried pork chop piled high with chili, coleslaw, mustard, and tomato. Delicious. Whether you're a fan of the Andy Griffith Show or just love a good meal with a side of history, Snappy Lunch is an experience you won't want to miss while in Mount Airy. Be sure to stop by Floyd's Barbershop next door, which inspired the character in the show. One of the most unique and fascinating stops during our trip to Mount Airy was the recently opened Siamese Twins exhibit at the Surrey County Arts Center. This exhibit tells the incredible story of Chang and Eng Bunker, the original Siamese twins, who lived in Mount Airy during the 1800s. The exhibit includes photographs, personal items, and detailed accounts of their lives, giving us a glimpse into their resilience and humanity. It's a moving experience to learn about their journey and how they became beloved members of the Mount Airy community, and a must-see for history buffs or anyone curious about the incredible stories that shape our world. After visiting the Siamese Twins Museum, we headed across the street to the old Rockford Street Elementary School, now the Andy Griffith Playhouse. Andy both attended school here and performed here as well. The Playhouse is part of the Andy Griffith Museum, a visit we had been looking forward to. Out front you'll find a statue that captures the iconic opening scene from the show, and we'll bet you can't resist whistling the theme song. After listening to Andy's famous monologue, What It Was Football, we walked into the theater and stage where Andy performed as a young boy. This historic theater is beautiful, and you can almost hear Andy's signature voice as you walk through and look around. We then headed over to the museum where we got our share of stickers and toured all of the historic items from the show. We'll show you some of the highlights. For our weekend here in Mount Airy, we are staying at a historic old home just outside of downtown. Really, really beautiful. We just pulled up. We haven't had a chance to take a look at it. We're going to take you guys on a full tour and show you guys this place. Let's go take a tour. And we're going to take a look inside. So here we have the living room, it looks like. Got a dining room. Looks like we've got a bedroom. This looks like maybe the main bedroom, not sure just yet. And another bedroom. And a small kitchen. And looky there. We have coffee. We are heading up to Blackmon Amphitheatre to go see a concert by The Connection tonight. Just a short walk from downtown. We're actually walking from the public parking over. Show you guys what there is to see and hopefully a bit of the band. downtown Mount Airy, grabbing some breakfast. Kind of a cool place, very Barney themed, of course. Lots planned for today, so first we're going to drink some coffee and get some breakfast, and then head out on the main street. We just finished up having breakfast at Barney's, which was really good. A nice little, I thought it'd be really touristy, but it's actually kind of a locals kind of place from what we could tell, but really good food. They got these incredible biscuits, by the way. But we are walking down Main Street from our Airbnb down to take a ride in one of the Mayberry squad cars. Sorry, I got attacked by a tree. And take a look at the replica museum, which lets you walk into the courthouse and the sheriff's department and all that. So we're going to take a ride in a Mayberry squad car.
You know, Barney liked to do that, and I do too.
I don't blame you.
This was by far my favorite part of the visit. I love old cars, and riding around town in an old Ford Galaxy that looked like a real Mayberry police car was too much fun. Our driver drove us around town, pointing out all the different historic buildings and points of interest. He gave us the full history of Andy and some information on Ford's relationship with the show. You might not know, but Mount Airy is also home to the largest open-face granite quarry. He shared all the history and drove us back there to even take a look. It's huge. We then went by the Andy Griffith mural, which is really neat. Can you see the mountain? By the same artist is a mural of Donna Fargo, who is also from Mayberry and popular for her song, "The Happiest Girl in the Whole USA." Finally, we drove by Andy's childhood home, which had been remodeled and added on to since Andy became famous. The home is now an Airbnb that you can rent. After wrapping up our squad car tour, we went next door to see the reconstructed courthouse, complete with Andy's desk, the cells, and of course, Otis's cell. We had so much fun on this tour and highly recommend stopping by on your visit to Mayberry. We then headed back into town and spent some time downtown exploring all the different shops. Walking downtown, we always saw this cool car, but we heard a beautiful voice singing and found Belle performing.
Wasting your time, but when the lights come up and I hear the band, and where they said I'd never be is exactly where I am. I hear the crowd, I look around, and I can't find one empty chair. Not bad for a girl going nowhere. On my radio, we always said you'd make it big, and I tell all my friends that I knew you back when. So don't forget all us little folks, and when you crash and burn, remember we told you so.
We have really enjoyed visiting downtown Mount Airy. Lots of great little stores, shops, privately owned businesses. Everybody has been so friendly. It's just unreal. And getting ready to try some sonker, which is a local, I guess, delicacy or dessert that Mount Airy is pretty famous for. I guess it's like, kind of like a cobbler, but a little different. So we're going to go try that and show you guys what that's all about. Miss Angel's Heavenly Pies is a real treat, if you will. We've never seen so many different kinds of pies and desserts in one place in our entire lives. All made fresh and often from ingredients from their local farm, which we'll check out later in the video. The sonker was amazing and tastes a lot like a cobbler, but with a different texture. Miss Angel has so many different kinds of sonker, it was hard to choose which one. Everything is made fresh and in-house as well. No preservatives used here. Miss Angel also owns Hillbilly Ice Cream next door, which not only has great ice cream, but Moonshine ice cream. I know, but it was so good. You seriously cannot visit Mount Airy without visiting Miss Angel's Heavenly Pies. We are back in downtown Mount Airy. We're at Checkout Market Street. There's supposed to be a bunch of food trucks and live music and vendors and all sorts of things to see through the evenings here. It happens on the weekends, so we're gonna go check it out and show you guys what we see. Alright, so we are at Thirsty Souls Brewing right off of Market Street near downtown Mount Airy. Very vibing place, lots of craft beers, pizza, and we're going to try some craft beer and some pizza. The place is really busy, some live music going on outside with the Juneteenth festival and just having a good time.
What I am and what I do bring to the table is I'm the only actual ghost hunter giving ghost tours now, and have been since I started. I have a podcast. I have 11 books out on the subject, magazine articles. I'm from Missouri, but the Midwest is where I do most of my ghost hunting. Some people said that they were one of them was messing with the other's wife, other people, it's all gossip, you know. Prior to the Civil War, this was forest, the street was there, this was all woods, and this was a driveway to that house.
Good morning. It's day 3 here in Mount Airy. There should have been a clip here of me saying good morning and telling you all about where we're at and about our ghost tour, but thanks to some technical issues, I lost the audio. But we roll with the punches here at Blue Ridge Mountain Life, which is why you're hearing me talking instead of seeing me. The ghost tour was fun and served as more of an interesting historic tour of the town, more than a ghost tour itself. As one would expect, we didn't see any ghosts. Here on day 3, we decided to begin the morning with a walk at Granite City Greenway, which has some creekside walking and biking trails. We figured it was a good way to get some exercise and focus on a bit of nature here in the area. So let's take a walk. After our walk, we had a little downtime and decided to visit a local vineyard that we had heard good things about from some locals. Round Peak Vineyard is just a few minutes outside of Mount Airy, and they did have some good wine and some really beautiful views of the vineyard from the back covered porch area. After visiting Round Peak, we headed out on the highway to visit and tour Miss Angel's farm. The farm is just a short drive up the interstate from Mount Airy. The farm is where many of the ingredients for Miss Angel's pies are grown. There's a farm store, playground, tons of peach trees, and even some animals to see. They even have a small event area. In the store, you'll find ice cream, peaches, peach cider, jams, merchandise, and more. The ice cream was delicious and really hit the spot on a hot day. We really enjoyed touring the farm and eating the fresh peaches right off the trees. Miss Angel and her husband are wonderful folks, and we really enjoyed meeting and talking with them. Next on our list was yet another vineyard. The Yadkin Valley is full of them. Christian Paul Vineyards is located nearby in Elkin, North Carolina. It is a relatively new vineyard in the area. The building was beautiful and hand-built by one of the owners. The vineyard's roots go back to Italy, and the experience, expertise, and passion of the vineyard is clear by the excellent taste of the wines. We enjoyed a tasting complete with a historic family aerator. The wines were fantastic, and we got a couple of glasses to enjoy out on the patio while enjoying the fantastic views. Be sure to have this vineyard on your short list and visit nearby Elkin, North Carolina while you're there. We had dinner reservations at Southern on Main and nearby Elkin that evening, but had some time to kill, so we walked around downtown for a while just to check it out. There wasn't much happening in Elkin on Sunday afternoon, but we enjoyed walking around the historic downtown and in the process discovered the Railyard beer garden, where we hung out for a while and enjoyed some water. Yes, no beer. We really enjoyed the shade and relaxing park-like environment. The Railyard is definitely a place where we enjoyed hanging out and highly recommend it. We walked back up a few blocks to Southern on Main for dinner. We had heard some really good things about this restaurant. We're really hungry. Fortunately, they really delivered. The dining room is located in an old historic building that has a warm and cozy atmosphere. We started off with some drinks and some rolls. After browsing the menu for a bit, we ordered some pastry-wrapped brie as an appetizer, which was crisp, warm, and gooey. Exactly how hot brie should be. It was delicious and a really great way to start our experience here. For entrees, we had their filet with crab cake and their pork medallions, which were very tasty and cooked to perfection. For dessert, we had their apple sonker. Can you tell I became a sonker fan? Jen had their pecan pie. We shared a little bit and really enjoyed both. Southern on Main in Elkin was our favorite restaurant during our Mount Airy visit. Top-notch, excellent food, and excellent service. Good morning. It is Monday, our last day here in the Mount Airy area. We are actually at Shelton Vineyards this morning going for a wine tasting. Shelton Vineyards is right outside of Dobson, which is about 15 minutes from Mount Airy, so definitely worth the trip. Some cool little historic downtown area, and this vineyard is absolutely beautiful. So we're going to take a tour of the vineyard and take a tasting and share all that with you guys. Shelton Vineyards is the largest family-owned vineyard spanning over 400 acres. The grounds alone are worth visiting for, but they also have a large tasting room, gift shop, and full-service restaurant. We begin our visit with a behind-the-scenes tour of the winemaking facilities. The sheer scale of this vineyard is mind-blowing. We were able to see something we had never actually seen before, the large press that the raw grapes are poured into straight from the fields. It was huge. We then walked around the grounds some and through the vines, going up to the event area where the views were simply gorgeous. After touring the facility, we returned to the tasting room to enjoy the end result of the process we just saw. We tasted a number of different reds and whites and really enjoyed all of them. We even brought a few bottles home with us. We really enjoyed our visit to Shelton Vineyards and look forward to returning. Did we mention how beautiful the grounds were? Incredible. Another food item that Surry County is famous for is the ground steak sandwich. It's a bit hard to describe, but it's like a hamburger, but with more filler. It's good and definitely unique. We tried our first one at Central Cafe in nearby Dobson, which is on the Surry County Ground Steak Trail. We actually had lunch with Travis Fry, the ground steak expert, and he told us all about this traditional food item and about the different varieties. We were 50-50. I liked it, but Jen didn't. Travis wasn't surprised. Some folks do, and some folks don't. All right, well, this wraps up our visit to the fun town of Mount Airy, North Carolina. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If so, please be sure to give us a like and subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you on the next adventure.